Hi, welcome to Getting Started with VR. My name is Joanna Harris. I'm the Teen Services Coordinator for DC Public Library. And today I'm going to start off this webinar by sharing with you the basic tools that we used for the VRtality project, which can help you also get started with any basic VR program at your library. But before I get into that, first I want to answer the question of why VR? Why have a program for teens using virtual reality? Why did we have them design a virtual reality experience as opposed to literally anything else? Many companies like Facebook, now called Meta, they're generating a lot of chatter around the possibilities of virtual reality. Could it really be like a more immersive second life where we all have virtual reality homes and offices that we visit without ever leaving our real world bedrooms? Can we hide what we really look like behind whimsical personas every day? Will it replace the need for Zoom calls, travel, and meeting up in person? Maybe not, but virtual reality and its cousin, AR, augmented reality, is already being used for practical purposes, like training employees and giving house tours, as well as for entertainment and socialization. Nobody knows exactly what the future of virtual reality will look like, but it's important to connect and familiarize young people, with emerging technologies, even if years down the line they may not look exactly like they did back when they started using them. So for an example, this is a PC game that was known as KidPix. It was a visual art and drawing program that was created by Craig Hickman in 1989. So when my grandfather gifted my family our first PC around 1996, he also gifted me the latest version of this game. This game taught me how to manipulate, move, and resize images on a virtual canvas. I learned how to add text and draw and paint using a mouse. At the time, my family probably thought it was just a fun thing for me to do in our new computer. But little did they know that I would be learning the basic functions of how most graphic software would work going forward, and that later in life, when I would begin using Photoshop or Canva for work, I would be calling upon these skills that I learned back when I was 7. So that's why it's a service to young people, to connect them with new technology early. And it's even better to have them envision themselves as content creators so that they can think about how they want to use this technology for themselves and their communities, and not just what a company tells them that how they should use it. So that all being said, let's all talk about the stuff that you'll need to get yourself and your team started. So the headset that we use is the Oculus Quest 2, which is about $300 a pop. This is probably the most up-to-date technologically and consumer-friendly headset on the market right now. And then you'll also need a smart mobile device, so a phone or a tablet, something that can download the Oculus app, which is available on the Google Play or App Store. And then you'll need a laptop, particularly if you are going to do a virtual reality design program. You'll need a laptop to connect with SideQuest. And it's important that you have a laptop that can download SideQuest, so not a Google Chromebook. That's something that we definitely learned, and something that'll be able to connect with the headset. So setting up your headset. Create a Facebook or Meta account. So as of August 2022, you'll no longer need a Facebook account to use an Oculus headset, which is great news. Up until this recording is in late July, you still need a Facebook account to use an Oculus headset, which has been a real barrier for those of us in libraries and schools. Finally, Meta has heard us, and so soon you'll be able to just make a Meta account to use just for VR, which is really excellent. But you still have the option. You can make a Facebook account. We had the youth create Facebook accounts just for the purpose of this project. We created our own Facebook accounts just for the purposes of this project. Obviously, if you're having shared headsets that will live at the library, make sure that all the staff members know the login and passwords to the Facebooks that you create, and have emails that everybody can access. So then once you make that account, you'll open the Oculus app on your phone or your tablet, and then you'll sign into the app with your new account. And at that point, it'll ask you to make a username. So for instance, we all just wrote our names and then DC Public Library, DCPL. And so that was just it was an easy way to make a username just for this project. And we had the kids do that as well. So it helped us find and friend them for the rest of the project. When you log into the app, you will want to find your menu. So when you go on the home page, your menu button is on the bottom right. So you'll click on that and it'll take you to a page that looks like this. So you'll want to click this little box that says devices. So adding a new device, you'll just press this plus button on the top right. As you can see, this one already knows that I have an Oculus Quest. It's not turned on, so it says not found right now. But to add a new device, you'll just click the plus button. And then it'll ask you what type of device you're looking to set up. So you'll click Quest 2. And then it'll give you the prompts to start setting up your new device. And you'll just follow those. Just a word of advice, you'll want about like 6 feet around you to set up your Oculus device and to use VR in general, especially VR experiences that involve a good deal of moving around. So that's something to keep in mind for when you're setting stuff up, but also if you're going to be having your virtual reality participants all in the same room, you want to make sure it's a room big enough where everyone can have 6 feet. 6 feet worth of space, just like the old social distancing rule. And then this is an extra step if you're so inclined. If you would like to cast what is on a VR headset screen onto a computer or a smart TV or another device, it's very simple. You can just go back to your menu and click casting. And follow the prompts. Basically, it will detect any smart device also attached to the same Wi-Fi, and you'll just select that, and it will give you instructions how to stream what's on the VR headset to that device, which is really neat. So that's just fun. It's just nice to see what everyone is doing, and particularly if you have VR headsets that you have to share, it's helpful to have everyone be able to see what the other person's doing in virtual reality. It's a little bit more fun while they're waiting for their turn. But also it can be really, really helpful in terms of troubleshooting, or if you're trying to instruct a young person where to go in VR, what to do, it's easier if you can see what they're seeing, right? So that's a helpful tip. And then the apps, what are the actual games and experiences that we use in this project? And that we would recommend that you also use. So pretty much everything can be downloaded from the Quest store, which you can access on the Oculus Quest app or directly on your headset. So we use VR chat quite a bit. So VR chat is free, and I just think it's a great way to experience a bunch of things in virtual reality at once. So VR chat, like the name suggests, it's basically a series of like fanciful chat rooms. All the different rooms that you find in VR chat, a lot of them are interactive or have games built inside of them. It's a great way to practice socializing in virtual reality. And there's a lot of really fun avatars, lots of them from popular culture. So it's really popular with teens. And you can make private rooms as well as go and interact with the general public. If you're doing that, you definitely want to have just a quick talk about safety with your young folks before they go off into that connected world. And then we played Beat Saber. Unfortunately, this game is $30, but it's a really excellent game. And so basically what Beat Saber is a point scoring game where you hit the cubes on a beat to score points. So it's like exercise with music. This was a lot of fun and was really a good alternative VR experience to let the young people see like how it can be used for sport and fun and activity. And you can play it by yourself or you can play it in multiplayer mode, which we did quite a bit. Other games and experience that we didn't use, but I think are worth checking out. So Touch the Beat is pretty much a free version of Beat Saber. It's pretty much exactly the same game, except it's free. There's a few less, so there's less songs, like you can pay to get more songs, but the logistics of the game are almost exactly the same. Google Arts and Culture, so that allows you to explore different parts of the world and different museums using real life photographs and videos. MetaQuest 2, so these are first person storytelling experiences. I highly recommend The Key, which is a allegorical story about the experience of being a refugee. The graphics are gorgeous. There's really cool interactive components of it. It's a worthwhile experience. It's a great example of VR storytelling as well. And then Speartune, also a great example of how VR can be used for storytelling. So these are basically just 3D, 365-degree comic books that you can read. And a nice thing about Speartune as well is that it provides like rating and trigger warnings and all that good stuff, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Yeah, and there's a library of different things that young people can select to read. And then Fit XR, it's kind of like Wii Sports for VR, and it's just exercise games. It's pretty cool. And then VR creation tools that we use. So after we had the young people experience just trying out different virtual reality experiences, we had them try their hand at making their own virtual reality creations. And we use CoSpaces, EDU for the most part, for that. So CoSpaces has a free plan, but you can buy a plan which gives you essentially more space to have different projects. And yeah, it's just a very, no coding knowledge is needed to create your own virtual reality space. It's your own virtual reality environment, and they make it very simple and very easy to use, very plug and play. It's a lot of fun. Competitors, I'll get to that in a minute. First, another VR creation tool that we used was Gravity Sketch, which is one of my favorites. It basically is a app that allows you to make virtual reality sculptures. So they have a variety of different tools, brushes that you can use, and literally with your hand shape a sculpture in virtual reality space, which was a lot of fun. So we used that for a bit, and that was a cool experience for the young people. And then some competitors, some other options for VR creation tools that we didn't use, but I've heard good things about. Mozilla Hubs, it's pretty much a direct CoSpace competitor, as well as School VR, I believe. Google Earth Projects allows young people to composite different things from Google Earth to create an experience. So don't know too much about these, but I've sat in on other presentations that talked about them that really found them beneficial, and they're all free. So that's pretty much all you need to get started. I hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions, again, my email, joanna.harris@dc.gov. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this webinar. Thanks.